Hi everyone, this is Tom from Nocode Shorts, where I interview no-code founders from all over the world. And today with me is Lee. Lee, please introduce yourself.
So hi, my name is Lee Launches. I'm a indie bubble maker, contractor, freelance bubble developer. I like to launch my own projects, and I also like to help other people launch their ideas with no code and bubble. And today I'm going to be showing you one of my projects that I worked on for myself, which was LaunchCasts, which is a instant AI podcast generator. And I'm going to share my screen with you now so you can see how it works. So this is LaunchCasts. This is a project that I built around about the beginning of the year. It's an instant AI podcast generator. I built it because I had an idea for creating podcasts from any content or idea. And I built it with my own Bubble no-code starter kit, which is Launch AI. One of the reasons I built the project was because I wanted to test out this Bubble starter kit, Bubble template. It's specifically for launching AI ideas with Bubble. And I set about creating the whole app with the template. Recently, I've revamped the project. So my friend Sam Wilcox of Natural Design helped redesign the project, helped redesign the landing page. And one of the features of the new landing page is that you can preview any podcast that somebody else has created. So I'm going to show you how it generates a podcast. So if we go into the app, this is the app dashboard that you would see when you log in, and it gives you two options. Basically, you can generate a script from scratch, or you can paste some text from the web. The idea with this was that often I have friends who might send me articles and things, and I don't have time to review them or watch them. So I'd find I wanted something that I could just paste that article directly in. If we go back to here, this idea was, say if you had an idea for a podcast episode and you just wanted to create that, then this will do that. So let's say you wanted to create taking action over ideas, then you can choose your script length. You can choose your tone, so it can be formal, professional, humorous. Let's go for humorous. You can add a CTA, so you could have what action you want the user to take at the end of the podcast. You can also add a sponsor if you want your podcast to be sponsored, but I'm going to keep those blank for now. Click generate script. So it's now going to generate the script and take us to the next flow that you can see in the menu here.
So the first step is to generate the script. So you can either generate it or paste your own script, right? And when you paste the script, it's being also changed by AI, or the script you are pasting is just as is?
So when you paste from the script, when you paste from the content from the web, it's just as it is. It doesn't edit it. That's one feature I've thought about adding. So you could have a chat with the AI to edit it, but currently it just creates from either generating the script, which is what it's done here, or from pasting. So now that it's done this, you could go and edit it. So you can go edit. You could take this out if you wanted. You can then, I don't know if you're going to hear the voice on the sound, but we'll try it. You can then hear what the voice sounds like. Right. Once you're happy with the voice, I quite like this one. This deep American voice. You click generate. It will then go and generate the audio for you based on the script after you finished editing. So it's doing that now.
And after that, you are ready with the script that's being read by this voice, right?
Yeah. So now it's generated the audio. At this point, you can download it from here if you want. Maybe you just want the audio. Maybe you don't want to create a whole episode. So I put that option in for some people who just want the audio. So you can click download here if you wanted to. But what I wanted it to do, what I wanted it to do for users and for myself, because again, I kind of built this for me. It's one of those projects that I built for myself. I wanted it to then create the artwork. So you click next flow, and then you can select style. So
so it's a whole experience, not only a script audio, but also an artwork. Cool.
yeah, so it will create the artwork for you, and you can choose any of these options: collage, vintage, art deco. You can also upload artwork if you've already got. Let's go for, I mean, Tom, you choose. What do you want to go for? Collage, vintage, art deco?
Let's go with vintage.
And then you put in the name of the podcast. Put in your name. This, what you're seeing on the screen now, is just a placeholder. So my idea was you could have this as an option as well. You can put in a URL. There's something added recently, and this is particularly for SEO, because I revamped the project recently as part of the Build the Keyword Challenge, where we were actually building ideas that people were searching for. And one of the things that I wanted to add to the tool was allow the app to get picked up in search. And so this allows the user to also add a backlink to their project. So I could put in my domain name, for example, and then click generate artwork. And now it's generating the artwork. Takes a few seconds to do that.
It's generating an images that you are ready to download and paste on any type of.
So now it's created the artwork. You can regenerate, and then once you're happy with it, if you're happy with that one, you just click next flow, and then you've got your episode. So at this point, you're ready to share your episode. Currently, you just share it as a web link. You can choose to be featured on the LaunchCasts landing page, which is what I was showing you at the beginning, where you can see all these episodes have been featured. The idea here is that I want to give exposure to anyone who creates an episode, and they also get featured on the main page. So I've got a main page with all the podcasts that have been generated. These ones are actual AI podcasts, so well-known podcasts on AI, and these are all the ones that have been created using LaunchCasts. You get featured here. So going back to the app, once you're at this stage, all you've got to do is publish the episode. So you click publish episode, and it will generate a link for you and a podcast player. And now you can share this link with anyone you want. Share it with anyone on
So
the
you
web.
don't have to, for example, publish it on Spotify or somewhere else. You can just use this link to share.
Yeah, just use this link to share. The idea being, going back to what I said at the beginning, was the original idea for this app was to allow anyone to take a piece of content and turn it into audio. And so, yeah, it's a shareable link. You can just share this now with anybody. A next step that I'm looking at doing is auto-publishing it to podcast providers. I think that's the next step I would do. I would add on to this so that you could also then have a full podcast, not just a single episode, which is what it currently does. Again, it's got a podcast description. Again, this is for SEO, so that you get picked up by SEO, and a backlink. So it's got a backlink to the link that you saw we put in one of the steps in this step. And it won't let me go back now, but in one of the earlier steps when we added our link, it's
Yeah, I
showing
remember
the
you
link.
added the link for the backlink for the SEO. And of course, the whole app was built in Bubble, right?
The full app was built in Bubble, and I can give you a look at the back end side, the Bubble side, if you like.
Yeah,
the
let's
app
jump
side.
into the editor. Let's jump into the editor and take a look at how it was built. And also maybe mention what was the hardest part in building it. You said that you launched it using your template, right? So how long did it take, and what was the hardest part?
Yeah, so if we jump into the editor, I'll show you how I built it. This flow is actually very similar to what I have in the app and what I have in my Bubble starter kit. Launch the AI is my Bubble starter kit. This starter kit here. And what I wanted to do is test out all the different AI models, which pretty much this app does. So it's got, creating the script, creating the audio, creating the artwork. These are all the APIs that I've got in Launch the AI. There was a
So
few.
it's using different okay, not only, for example, one OpenAI API, but you can use different uh, AI APIs that you have built into the template, right?
Yeah, so actually, I am using OpenAI for all of the
Mm-hmm.
models. I've got plans. Again, I've got plans to add other APIs, but currently I'm using all of them. So you can
Okay.
see I've got script, I've got GPT Vision, I've got create an image, which again is OpenAI API. I've got speech, again, create image. Also got assistant, which I didn't use in this project, but we were talking just now, you and I were talking just now, Tom, about having it chat with the assistant about the script, and that's one feature I thought about adding on. But for this MVP, I decided not to make it too
Sure.
complicated. If we go back to the design flow, so my app, and both my template and my app is quite simple. I try and keep it simple. I have a landing page, uh, which is the index. So this is the landing page built in Bubble that you saw before. I have the app page, which is just one page. It's all of the different flows that we saw. And if I open these up, you'll see the different steps. Just built one page app in Bubble, which when the user logs in, they come into. And then I have a sign up page. So that redirects them to the app page. And then in addition to that, I've got the episode page. So we saw before, this is when you share your podcast episodes. And then, as I said before, for distributing the podcast, for sharing it, I've got a actual podcast app where we're featuring all the different podcasts. So this is that page, and this is just pulling all the user generated podcasts here, and obviously it's got a CTA encouraging people to generate their own when they come to this page.
Makes sense to create a viral effect because people were about to share their work, and makes sense
Yeah.
for both the app and the people, right? So,
Yes. Yeah. And one of the things I was planning in terms, I'm still trying to work out the monetization model, but one of the things I'm figuring out is whether one of the plans, if I take you to the plans, it's the wrong page, take you to this one. One of the plan, so for the producer plan, I was thinking about was having a white label option. So if you go for the white label option, then it doesn't have a viral link back to the app. But if you're on the free plan or the creator plan, then it does promote the app.
I also saw when we are at the pricing that you have uh, credits, right? How,
Yes.
I mean, tell us more about how to create such pricing, such subscription plan that are not only an easy subscription, I mean flat fee per month, but are using the credits. How to do it?
Yeah. So one of the pricing models, if I go back to the app, yeah, so one of the pricing models that I'm doing with this app and with my other apps is, and I think it's really about an appetite that a lot of people have for not having subscriptions, or a lack of appetite for subscriptions, especially in the creator and maker economy. We don't want to pay for subscriptions. So one of the models I've been using is allowing people, instead of getting tied into a subscription, that they pay for use. And that's the model that I've built into LaunchCasts. And
This is
so,
interesting because most of the projects, the bubble projects, are using the flat fee, I mean the simple Stripe integration. And this is something that may be interesting for the people, how to create the paper credit, right? And then you have
yeah,
a
and
cup of credits.
yes, I think it is interesting, and it's not simple. It's, you have to give it some. I find you have to give it some thought, because obviously your Bubble app, Bubble are going to be charging you every month, especially with your workflow usage and all that kind of thing. So you've got to pay a subscription to Bubble. So you've got to think about that quite a bit. But I think it can work if you can, and then obviously you've got to pay for your API credits as well. Depending on which API you're using, whether it's Claude or OpenAI or whichever one it is, 11 Labs, whatever it is. But I think it can work because if you can get the user to use it and just pay for what they use, and then just charge them every time
Yeah,
they run out of credits.
but technically, how to do it? I mean, you are saving an amount of credits in the database and then subtracting every time the asset is generated. How can you show us the workflow
Yeah,
for this?
so what I'm doing is I I'm having a plan. So I've got a plan in. I think I've got it in here. If we go to option sets and we go to pricing plans, I set the number of credits on that plan, and then when the user purchases, if we go back to workflow, um, let me just find one of the. So when they click generate, it's it has. Actually, I don't think I've got it on this one.
I think it's a trigger at credit at the end, right? So
Where have I got it? Oh, trigger add credit. Oh yeah.
we are just adding credits used to the user
Yeah,
field that he used the credits and then comparing it to the credits that are in the plan, right?
that's what I was doing. Actually, this is out of date. So this is what I was doing. I was looking at how many credits is in the plan, and then setting it. Have they got enough credits? And if not,
Mm-hmm.
then showing the pricing plan. I've actually recently been doing it differently, and what I'm doing differently now is when they upgrade, I have a credits field. I haven't got it on this app, but I have a credits field actually on the user. And
Mhm.
when so I've added it recently. So you've got credits given and credits. So every time they upgrade, it adds the credits, and then it checks here how many credits they use. This should actually be
Mm-hmm.
how many credits they've used, and then it checks how many have they used, how many have they got, and if they've used as many or as more than what they've been given, it then shows them the pricing plan.
Mm-hmm.
And there is actually, I've got an alert that pops up. Let me see if I can find it for you. I've got an alert in here that pops up when you're running low, and then you can click more.
Mm-hmm.
On another app of mine, on Build the Keyword, we have it so that when you're getting close to low, a little bell icon pops up, and that's something I want to add to this. So when you got down to your last 5 credits or something, a little bell icon will show, and you click that, and then you can top up your credits so you can top them up before you run out. You don't, because you don't want to run out when you want to go and create something.
Yeah, and on the payment gate, by the way, you are using Stripe, right, or something different?
I'm using Lemon Squeezy.
Lemon Squeezy,
Yeah.
which is on top of Stripe, but it's more convenient because it handles all the taxes and things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I've used Stripe in previous apps and used them on client apps. I prefer Lemon Squeezy as an indie maker because it handles merchant of record. I know things are changing with Lemon Squeezy at the moment. I know they recently got acquired by Stripe, but one of the reasons I started using it was because they have the merchant of record, which handles having customers in different locations. I also found that Stripe is like a Lemon Squeezy is like an unbundled version of Stripe. It's a lot more simplified. Sometimes when I'd go into the Stripe dashboard, I found it very, very complex. There's so many different things, and so many. Stripe has so many features that I find I don't need in my apps. Where Lemon Squeezy, I find, works better for solopreneurs and indie
Yeah,
makers,
I
and
also
why,
like Lemon Squeezy for this type of
yeah,
projects.
so
And in
why I
terms of
use it.
buying these credits, you just create a product called, one-time product called, for example, 100 credits, and buying this product in Lemon Squeezy.
So you click this, it will take you to the Lemon Squeezy payment page, which is just a product. Then what it does is there's a webhook that comes back to Bubble and recognizes the user. There's a backend workflow that connects the user to the user in Lemon Squeezy, and then gives the user that credit in the app.
Good, perfect, thank you. So anything else to show in the app? Would you like to say anything? Because we are 20 minutes, around 20 minutes, so we should come to an end. So
the main thing I can show, if I go back to the landing page, is that a user can, so you can come to the featured podcasts, you can view them here, you can play any one of these that you want. It's got a custom player, so I'm not using the default HTML audio player. I've made a custom player. I used a plugin for that actually, which was this plugin. Which one was it? The custom audio player, which allows you to make it look how you want in Bubble. And then also users can view all the podcasts, as I previously mentioned. And let's say you find one you want to see. Let's say Paris Olympics summary. So this was I created a podcast episode on the ending of the Paris Olympics, and any user, whether they're logged in or whether they're signed up, can just share this wherever they want. Again, adding to the virality, adding to the viral nature of the app, being able to share any episode with anybody, and then allowing you, giving that benefit to users, but also to the app. It helps again promote the app itself. Yeah, I think the main thing for launching your own ideas is to pick a stack that you're most comfortable with. If it's Bubble or any other no-code tool, use the one that you find works for you. Don't feel you have to use something because somebody else uses it. Use the one that allows you to achieve what you want to do. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to solve the problem you want to solve. And I would just say keep with it, keep building, and realize that you're going to keep learning. Anybody, wherever they are on their no code indie maker journey, is going to still be learning, whether they're starting from scratch, whether they're like you Tom, and very advanced in your Bubble no code skills. We're still all learning. So I think the main thing is to think of a problem that you want to solve and use a no code tool like Bubble to solve it, and learn as you go. Try out different pricing models like we were talking about in this chat here. You could use subscription models, you could try a pay for credits model. Try it out, see what works, see if people will buy your app depending on those experiments.